Hey guys, Savage Joy live with Real Progressives. Tonight I am joined by Yatish Joshi, and he is actually running for U.S. Congress in Indiana, District 2. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And shout out to Arakel for recommending you. So you are a business owner, and you consider yourself a humanitarian. When did you become an activist?
I'm activist for last maybe 30, 40, 50 years. I'm in the politics. I love politics. So there's a little echoes going back and forth. Yeah, my father, just a little bit background, my father was a freedom fighter during the British Empire. He was a telegraphic operator, passing the messages to make sure they organize the marches together. And if he got caught, he would be prison for life.
Wow.
So, and as you know, that he worked in conjunction with the Mahatma Gandhi, who single-handedly bring down the British Empire. So it's just come from my family to do good thing for the people. In all my life, me and my wife or my parents, my brother, sister, we always did something how to make things better for other people. So if there is activism, that I'm doing for a long, long time. So if I understand correctly, that what happened, why I'm running for US Congress, is that the question you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I came to this country in 1976. Just a little bit background, okay? I did not know a single soul in this country. And in the American people, that is my first experience in December 23rd, 1976. I was getting up the JFK airport, and this elderly lady was struggling with her heavy suitcase. So I helped her to carry a suitcase to her children's wedding outside. And they thanked me and they asked me, "Hey, Yatish, what you planning to do?" Such I'm going to Akron, Ohio to do my graduate study and to catch my Greyhound bus next day. So I'm just staying in the airport because I didn't have any money, any cash money. And I was trying to save every single penny if I had. So they said, no, please come to our house. So they took me to their house, give me warm food, warm bed. On the Christmas Eve, they take me to Greyhound bus station and trying to buy my bus ticket with my traveler's checks. Only in America, they do not take traveler's checks. So he gave me $200 cash.
Wow.
And so I said, I will send it back to you when I reach Akron, Ohio. He said, no, don't worry about it. So I get in the bus, and this young white lady was sitting next to me, and she happened to be going to Akron, Ohio to visit her family for Christmas. We start talking, and she couldn't able to pronounce my name, so she called me Joe. As we approach Akron, Ohio, she said, "Joe, what is your plan?" I had no plans. I was thinking, I'm going to find some hotel. "Oh, no, please come with me. My friends will love you." So she took me to her house, and they were blue-collar, hardworking Americans, okay? And the parents were so excited to see me. They welcomed me with open arms, so excited. They gave me warm food, warm bed again. And on the Christmas day, they asked me that, would you like to come to church with them? I said, I never been to church before. So I said, okay, sounds good. So went to the church. Church was so big. I thought maybe 5,000 people. I was only brown person in that whole church. After the church services, they took me to their family members as their customs. And every single person, such a warm welcome to me. The next day, she went back to New York, but she told her parents that Joe going to stay with you till if you can find a good apartment for me. And my school not going to start for 2 weeks. So I stayed with her parents for 2 weeks. And every day I look at the newspaper looking for apartment. They say, no, this is too far, this is too expensive, this is bad neighborhood. They won't let me go. So just day before my school started, they said, Joe, we found the apartment for you. This is walking distance to campus, very reasonable rent. So we packed up and we went. And on the way, they stopped at the grocery store and they bought whole week of groceries and a lot of my kitchen in my apartment. And they told me, Joe, if you need anything else, please give us a call. That is my first experience with American people. You will never ever going to find like that in any part of the world. I really believe this is only possible to happen in America. Anyway, so I did my graduate study. I finished my master degree. I met my wife. And while doing my PhD, I got a job offer from Tennessee. So I decided maybe I'll come back and finish my PhD. I haven't done that yet. So I went to find a job, worked for a couple of years, and I got laid off. Just day after we bought our first house. We had no money. We huddled up together in a cold room to watch our fine TV. Once a week, we went to Dunkin' Donuts to share a cup of coffee. And that was the highlight of our week. So for next 7-10 years, we struggled several jobs. Job stability is very, very difficult. Keep losing the job or getting letting off or company going out of business. So finally, when we know how, my wife said we have to start the business to make sure we able to be stabilized. So we started the business in South Bend, Indiana, on the west side. The west side of the South Bend is an economically challenged area. And we want to start business over there to see if we can be able to help the people. We started our factory. We got our first contract. The people come to work for GTA, walking. Now today, they come in nice car. They moved from the apartment to the house. At GTA, we pay 100% company paid health insurance, plus 100% retirement profit sharing plan for each and every employees. We treat our employees like our family. We pay equal pay to men or the women. Because what happened to me is my life experience. I'm succeeded because of my employees. And all these years, we do our way to make our community better. Because this is the community we chose. And my wife said, this is our community, has to be the best. Second best doesn't count. So we doing all these years our way. Our business is very successful business. We make collapsible containers for storage of drinking water, fuel, and liquid fertilizer for farmers, soldiers, or for disaster relief areas, like the one they used in Rwanda, or Haiti, or Puerto Rico, or Miami, or Texas. They are flexible, collapsible. So after finishing using, you can fold it up, put in the box, and take it to next place. Anyway, so we very successful. We created this innovative process to start our business. In that process, we renovated the performance hall at our local University of Indiana and IUSB in South Bend. We endowed South Bend Youth Symphony. So our music children benefit for years to come. So we do lots of things in our community. And then here come 2016, I supported so many Democratic candidates. Financially, as a volunteer, working on the phone call, canvassing, knocking door to door, and every single candidate lost. I was so depressed. My wife was crying. Our family, friends, everyone depressed. I was trying to answer myself a question, what went wrong? Then I came to realize, in my mind, that we lost because only one factor. We did not stand up to the lies. And I said, wow, every single Democrat lost because they did not stand up. If they said lies, we didn't do anything. We just sit back. So I said, I'm the businessman. I'm fighting for all my life to make things better for my community, for my employee, for my family. I can stand with the lies. Every single lies they're going to say, I'm going to come with the 10 truth and let people know what is the truth and what is the lies. That is the reason I'm running for US Congress.
Awesome. That is a beautiful story. That gives me hope. As far as you stated why you decided to run, you also talk about a lot on your Facebook campaign page. You talk about the woman Jackie Walorski, who is the incumbent. Yes. It looks like she's not very progressive. So what are the biggest differences between you? What do you hope to do differently than she has?
Okay, there's a difference is the day and night. She is very conservative. In fact, I call her radicalized conservative, very narrow-minded. What she's doing for a second district? Nothing. She doesn't support immigrants. She doesn't support tax cut for the hardworking average Americans. She doesn't support health insurance like a Affordable Care Act. She wants to repeal and replace. She doesn't support education. She getting the funding for the education. She voted for eliminating the EPA or for our environments. She doesn't want any regulations. So it's just on and on and on. She doesn't believe in living wages. She doesn't believe in paying for unions. She working with these radicalized conservative Republican to destroy the unions, destroy the middle class. So there's a difference day and night.
Right. I was looking at your platform, and you do touch on the litmus tests of the conservative, or excuse me, the progressive platform. You do have down universal health care. Now, as far as healthcare, you do talk about the good things of the Affordable Care Act. Is this something you want to see a progression, or do you think it's okay if we just get rid of that and go to universal healthcare immediately?
I think we have to admit the Affordable Care Act, or with the law we call it Obamacare, is the best thing happened to America. Before that, we had no healthcare. Look at the pre-existing conditions and no lifetime limits. Those are great benefits. Because of that, we have millions of Americans now have insurance. But that is not enough. We have to make it better. For example, we have to go to healthcare for all, or Medicare for all, or universal healthcare, or single payer. Because we know the Medicare is the most efficient way of delivering the health system. What we have to do is, we have to bring country, we need to work with everybody, opposites across the aisle, to make sure that we work together to make healthcare available for all Americans. It should be our right. For example, how we can do it? Because the question comes out, we have no money. But look at the Congress doesn't allow to negotiate the drug prices. For example, our drug prices, prescription drug prices, 30 to 60% higher than Canada or the 33 developed nation like in Europe. 33 to 60%. So for example, if you take 15% reduction in our drug cost to negotiate, only 15%, we can save $600 billion. Okay, and that is a fact. We can able to prove it. Number two, medical devices. We don't negotiate. Let's take a diabetes. There are so millions of Americans suffering from diabetes, and they have to have test strips. So if you negotiate the price on test strip for the diabetes, we can save $50 billion. Take a tort claim. We spend 35% in administrative cost, about 35 to 37% in attorney's fees. If we just lower the cost by 0.5%, negotiate 0.5%, we can save additional $200 billion. And here we're talking about only just few aspects. So if you can open the free market negotiation open for whole drug industries, we can save trillions of dollars. So we can able to pay for health insurance for all Americans. Plus money be left over. We can lower the cost significantly. Plus we can use money to pay for our schools, for our educations. So yes, Medicare for all, we have money and we can do it. American people will benefit and not the large corporations.
Yeah, the interesting thing about pharmaceuticals is Bernie Sanders did come up with a bill to put a cap on prices of any kind of medications. And people like Cory Booker, who say they're progressives, actually turned it down. And of course, we all know the main reason is because they're all taking money from Big Pharma. It seems like Citizens United is kind of behind all of our problems in a way. What's your take on taking any kind of corporate donations?
I think number one, Citizen United is one of the worst things Supreme Court did. Congress has to repeal that law, override that law. The democracy is not for few. Democracy is for many, for all Americans. This power of money is so corrupting. I pledged, just like Bernie Sanders, I don't take any money from any PAC or super PAC, and I take zero money from NRA. Our donations will be $5 or $10, $100. In fact, I haven't made a single phone call yet for donations. I'm doing my own campaigning from personally financing, but I'm spending more time with the people of the second district. Like my opponent spending 10 hours, 8 hours making a phone call, raising the money. So I really believe the money, we should remove the money from our politics. For example, our last debate, it's in South Bend, organized by League of Women. I said, same question came up. I said, maybe they should give every candidate $100 for campaign. That's it. If you do that, then everybody running for the campaign for office, they're going to spend so much time with the electorate, with every single person. Then people can decide who they like. They decide the choice, not the party. What happened in last election in 2016, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. Look at the party decided we want Hillary. That is not right. Let people decide. People are smart. And same thing happening in South Bend. Our local Democratic Party already handpicked a candidate. And that's not right. Let people decide. So I believe you're absolutely right. We do not want any money polluting or corrupting our democratic process.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a really good point to only give $100. I noticed on your pages, your Congress Facebook page especially, you have so many photos of you out in the community, just meeting people and doing things. And you always have a really huge smile on your face too, which I love. But it's so important that you are doing those things. You're making it personable. That's what people want to vote for. So that's a really good point. You touched on immigration a little and how the incumbent is not supportive of it. What is it like in where you live in the second district? Do you have a lot of immigrants? And if so, how are they treated or what have you?
Yes, we have lots of immigrants. We got lots of DACA students, large populations of undocumented immigrants. And for example, city of South Bend, population was going downward for last 20 years. And because of immigrant, South Bend will maintain the population above 100,000. That's why South Bend is prospering. Like our neighboring city, Elkhart, because of immigrants are prospering. There are shortage of about more than 10,000 employees. Employees, 10,000. They cannot find employees. Now, if you like what Trump and Jack is suggesting to throw those immigrants out, our economy will go down the drain. For example, my advisor for the Latino community is a DACA student. He's helping me. He's DACA. I'm helping him to involve in the political process to gain the power. That is the way we can gain the power. What's happening is these immigrants, they're working so hard. In my company, we have 60 full-time employees. 80% are either blacks or the Latinos. They're working very hard. They pay the taxes. They pay Social Security, federal, state, city. And what they get in return? Nothing. There's no benefit to them. And that is not right. They want to build the wall. Millions and billions of dollars. What a waste of money. This is one of the stupidest idea I ever heard. Building the wall. So yes, immigrant is critical part. Look in our farmland. Immigrants are working. Our business thriving in San Joseph County or Elkhart County because of immigrant. So we have to help them. So immigration, and Jackie is totally opposite. She's just doing what Paul Ryan says or the Trump says, and that's it. She's become a rubber stamp. If you are representative, the whole meaning is represent the people. And she is representing only few.
Absolutely. There's definitely a problem. A lot of people get into office and then forget who their constituents are. So that's a really good point. On that line, you do, on your platform, you do talk about criminal justice reform. What is your, do you have for-profit prisons in your state? And if so, are they around where you live?
Yes, we have private prison for profit. What a disaster. I know people doesn't realize that state government and US government have a quota. They're guaranteeing they're going to provide so many prisoners every month. This is in America. Can you believe that? I cannot believe myself. Yes, the prison for profit on the human suffering. We have to ban private prisons. They want to build a private prison. ICE wanted to build a private prison in Elkhart, which is about 10 miles from South Bend. I fought in the council in South Bend in Elkhart to build private prison in Elkhart. And we succeeded. So this private company, the core, they decided not to build it and they left. But still, we have private prisons in Indiana. And we need to eliminate private prisons. We don't need any prison for profit. Justice is not for profit. Justice is to keep people morally superior, and that's it. If they committed crimes, okay, they pay the price. We can train them and make sure they're reintegrated back in our society after serving their prison terms. For example, at my company, we hire ex-felons. And they're working for me for last 2 years without any problems. And every single day they're telling me, Yatish, thank you for giving me a second chance. I help them to expunge their records. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That is called justice system, to help the people. People make mistakes. Look at we need a reform so badly. 80% of the populations in the prisons are due to drugs, possession of marijuana. I strongly advocate we have to decriminalize marijuana. Because of that, we devastated black communities, poor communities. We are spending $80 billion locking the people up. Can you imagine if you put that money in the educations and job, how better we will be? That's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also kind of touching on that, you do also talk about pay equity for women and people of color. What is the minimum wage where you are?
The federal minimum wage is $7.25.
Oh, okay.
The city of South Bend finally introduced a bill to get federal worker or state worker or city worker $10.10. And I was in that council meeting. And I advocated that $10.10 is still below poverty line. Minimum wage should be at least $15 an hour. Like United Way in South Bend in St. Joe County did a study, Alice report, and they come up with the average pay was $12.10 to just above poverty line. That's what they need to support family of three. So I'm proposing it cannot be just that need something goes wrong, your car breaks down, your child gets sick, and you borrow the money, you're in the debt. How are you going to pay it off? There's no way. You're living paycheck to paycheck. So there should be at least $15 an hour. So that's why you have some money left over, so you can save for rainy days. But we have to if you then put the inflation index, then $50 should be actually $23 an hour job to keep the people over the poverty line. And this misconception by paying higher wages, the price will just double or triple. Inflation will be rampant. That is a false. I can give you an example. For example, if instead of working 2 jobs or 3 jobs to make ends meet, that means you cannot spending your time with your family. You cannot spend any time with your children. You are just working job to job to job. You cannot work efficiently. But if you're making a $15 hour job or with this inflation index, $23 an hour job, that means you have to do only one job. That means you're spending more time with the family together. You're spending more time with your child. Your child is happy. You are happy. When your child go to school, the child going to learn much more. Because you are happy. When you go to work, your productivity goes up. Your efficiency goes up. That means business is going to make more money. If business make more money, in return they put the money back, creating more jobs and for their employees. It's positive domino effect. Everybody benefits. So minimum wage, that's what we do at our GTA. We pay living wage. We got another company, Dearborn Crane, which is union shop. We pay prevailing wages for our union workers. We treat them right. Even though Indiana is right to work state, they're busting the unions left and right. They want to employee can enjoy union benefits, but they don't pay the dues. The case happening right now in Supreme Court, pending Supreme Court. Can you imagine the Supreme Court decides with the Trump administration that union will be absolutely no right, and plus people are going to enjoy the benefits. For example, if you want to join the country club or health club, you pay the dues and you get the services. The same thing with the union. If you want to enjoy union benefits, you pay the dues. Simple as that. But they're doing everything and anything to bust the union, and there is no right. And that I like to change. When I'm in Congress, there's a things I'm going to work to fight to make the union strong, because union is the middle class, and we are shrinking our middle class so badly.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you support a federal jobs guarantee?
I think that's great ideas. I was just reading an article about Australia. In 60s and 70s, they guaranteed jobs and their rate target was unemployment 2% or below. So if we give job guarantee to federal job guarantee to every single citizen, that means they're working. That means they're paying the taxes. That means our economy is expanding. Rather than the corporation keeping the money in their bank account or giving money to the dividend or CEO, it doesn't expand our economy. So federal guarantee, job guarantee is brilliant, and I support that.
Awesome. You also talk about the reducing income inequality as far as Well, I guess we kind of already touched on that in that respect. How about the environment? You do talk about the environment. What areas in particular are you passionate about? Do you have pipelines in your state? Do you have fracking?
We don't have fracking, but we use 95% coal to generate electricity. 95%. The national average is 50% or below. And what happening is
Excuse me.
that burning this coal, we are creating these emissions. Indiana is one of the worst state for is polluting the atmosphere. One of the worst because of the we use the coal for generating electricity. Renewable energy, there is a passionate about that we create solar panel or wind energy or from the waves from the ocean, create the electricity that is sustainable. The electric motors, electric cars, that's what we need. We have to reduce the car congestion in Indiana. For example, Indiana about 20 years ago was number one in public transportations. Now we are not. We are building more roads and bigger roads for more cars. Instead of, we have to provide the public transport like a high-speed rail for connecting major cities, light rail to connecting the downtown, mall, community centers to vitalize our economy and reduce the car congestion, reduce the emissions. Because look at the number of storms, severe storms and frequency of storms are getting more and more and more. Just about few weeks ago, we had about almost 6 or 8 inches of rain in one day or in a few hours. Whole our San Jose County, Elkhart County, Marshall County, Preston County, all flooded. So if we can just save now, we can, so every dollar we save now, better, we saving $12 in repairing cost. So yes, environment is so critical. This Trump thing is a hoax. He absolutely dreaming. He doesn't understand what he's doing. He's systematically eliminating EPA. He's systematically eliminating education department. I think we are in really bad shape. We have to do something now. So that's why this election is so critical.
Do you think that you would still be running and as passionate if Hillary would have won?
I think, okay, I supported Hillary Clinton, okay? I supported for both the elections. Important, for example, I march, million women march after the elections. Now, me and my wife march in Chicago. And I asked so many people, why you are marching? You know what they told me? They're marching to protect what they have. So I told them, that if you march before November, you will be marching to get more, not to protect what you have. Bernie Sanders, what Democratic Party did to Bernie Sanders was not right. It was already party made up the mind who they're going to do with their candidate. So that was very wrong. I think Bernie, if the party would be out, if it's up to the people, Bernie Sanders would be elected. Mm-hmm. The point I'm trying to make that the Democratic Party, generally speaking, all the time is for the people, but they are so stagnant. There is no new ideas, nothing. So definitely the passion I have would be not as much as if the Hillary be elected. But yes, at least I would never run for Congress number one. There's no reason for me to run for Congress. I'm running for Congress because of what happened in 2016 elections and what Trump's doing and what this radicalized conservative doing to our country. That's the reason I'm running. If the Hillary run, things will be much better off than what's right now. We still would have an EPA, we still have an education department, but we won't have any new ideas like what Bernie brought. We still do not have $50 an hour wage for all the employees. We won't have idea of Medicare for all. So yes, so there will be another struggle for the next day, but things will be much better than what is right now. So you're absolutely right. I won't have that energy, this passionate, if the Hillary be elected.
She actually told Bernie that Medicare for all and raising minimum wage was pie in the sky. So he tried many times to get her to kind of go more left, and she was not having it. So she is centrist at best. She's definitely not progressive. So although we wouldn't be building a wall and things like that, people would have been very complacent. Now people were forced to get off their asses, go out and fight. With her, what's that?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, with her, it would have been business as usual. Everyone would have just accepted it, and we wouldn't have progress. But you also talk about veterans, and of course that relates to healthcare. What is your passion with veterans? Do you have a lot of VA help where you are?
Okay, we did not have much VA help. People have to go to Fort Wayne. There is about 160 miles out. Or they have to go to Grand Rapids. They just built a new VA place in Mishwaka. So there is a good thing happen. And so I can tell Jackie, yes, she finally did something good for the veterans. They don't have to travel. But we have to still, they're not getting the help. For example, 40% of the veterans are only covered by VA. Only 40%. That's a shame. They gave everything to our country. They should be providing the health care. We have to provide the mental health care because they are suffering so much. Because in the front line, when you're exposed, killing so many enemies, and you can see in front of your eyes, your body got blown up. In the front line, it's okay because you are all excited doing your job to defend our country. But when you come home, you're by yourself, and your mind play games, and those memory comes back. You go in depressions, you go in pain. So if you don't provide this mental health, don't provide all the health benefit, it's not right. For example, if you have mental health and you cannot function, they do not provide any help to you. But if your hands are limped, they provide all the help. So they do not realize the mental health is a real issue. So I really propose that our mental health, our vision, our dental should be all part of this one insurance policy. Our eyes and dental are not separate. Our brain is not separate part of the body. They're all same. So veteran not getting the benefit what they claim. They claim they are champion of helping veterans, but they are just talking. They're not doing anything. And we have to make a change. We will create more veterans clinics so they can go and see. In fact, they should go see any doctor, and they should get benefit, should be paid by Medicare.
Absolutely. You have way too many homeless veterans everywhere, which is unacceptable. And also, there's 22 veteran suicides a day. So that, I agree totally that we do need so much more mental health care. What is something else that is not on your platform, on your page, but that you're very passionate about and that you're hoping to accomplish?
And I'm so glad you asked me that question. I'm so glad. I'm passionate about the tax cuts. And I would love to talk to Bernie Sanders about it, okay? Current tax cut they passed is only designed for wealthy people. If you go back 30 years back, starting with, for example, Reagan, what he promised, he said economy will grow, employee wages will go up, our deficit will go down, and totally reverse happened. Our deficit went up, rich people got richer, and poor people didn't maintain their poverty line. They went poorer. Same thing happened to both the Bushes, and then came Bill Clinton. He increased the taxes on the rich people. And what happened? Same thing. Rich people know how to, and large corporations know how to create more jobs and how to make money. So they go richer, and poor people got poorer. And here comes the Trump. The richer people got now extremely rich, large companies got extremely rich, and poor people going to get poorer and poorer. What I'm proposing is, and that is I'm really passionate about, is absolutely revolutionary ideas. Everybody deserves a tax cut. So repeal current tax laws, reform, and make it permanent for middle class and working Americans and small business. But also the large corporations deserve the tax cut also. But instead of giving welfare to them, tie their tax cuts to employee wages and benefit. Better the wages, better the benefits, better the tax cuts. So that means everybody goes up. And that is, to me, is absolutely revolutionary. Because that's why we are able to guarantee the workers will rise up as the company profit goes up. And because companies, they know how to make money. So they will figure it out. If by paying my employee $35 an hour, if I get 20% tax cut, I'm going to make more money. So they will be willing to give higher wages to employee. That means everybody benefits. So that is, I want to introduce that concept and that ideas in the Congress and pass it.
That's a really interesting concept. So essentially, the business owners would be responsible for how much taxes they would pay.
That's correct.
Correct. Okay, that's very interesting. I've never heard of that. That's a really interesting idea. Are you familiar with the what MMT is?
Yeah, the modern monetary theory.
Yeah, modern monetary theory. It basically the federal taxes don't fund spending. So when they say we don't have enough money for, universal health care or college or anything, it's not accurate because we print our own money. So we are completely able to do anything that we need without cutting this to get this. So yeah, we always like to touch on that just to make sure people know what it is. What else?
That is like in Australia, they did in 1670s. If you maintain, you make your own currency. So as long as you make your own currency, there is no inflation or deflation. There is no unemployment. You creating your own jobs and you making the economy booming. And it is plus features for everything. So this is total misconception that, we don't have money to do this, we don't have money for that. And history proven it. Okay? MMT does work. And we should implement that, guaranteeing federal job for every single citizen. Okay, bring the employment down. And whatever takes money, we can do that. And as long as we control our own money, there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. If there's one thing you want to leave with our viewers to take away so that they visit your page and your website and hopefully throw a few bucks for a donation or recommend you to other people in your state, what would you like to leave with the viewers to basically like a final thought?
Okay, I like thought leave behind for the viewer is that I'm not running in Congress to advance my career. I already have my career, very, very successful career. I'm doing for my people, for my community. And that's what we are doing for the last 30 to 45 years. We are investing so much in our community philanthropies. For example, our local university, we renovated brand new performance hall, state of the art. We endowed the scholarships of our Indiana students for years to come, complete for domestic and international. We are endowed the South Bend Youth Symphony. This is the music program for young children from elementary to high school. So they learn different music for years to come. So doing for the community, everybody benefits. Getting rich, it should not be a criteria. So getting this, what you can do for your community. For example, my wife says, in this life, it is not what you can do for yourself, but what you can do for others, that counts. If you can do that, we are all better off. So there is a reason I'm running, that what happened last election is not right. We are going 50 years backward. That's not right. Our country is far better and far superior. And we cannot allow this few radicalized conservative to ruin our country, ruin our democracy for everybody. So that's what we leave behind for our viewer, that we have to work hard for others, make things better for everybody, not for ourselves. And in that process, if they donate and contribute and pass the word to vote for me on May 8th, is so critical. We have to come out and vote. 36% people came out to vote last election. That's not democracy. I want you to know that we can 80, 90, 100% people voting people come out and vote. That's what we want. High turnout. The people come and vote and use their power. That is the power they have. They elect the person they like and fire the person they don't like. It is up to them. It is up to us. That's what we have to know. That your vote counts. Every single vote counts. Thank you.
Absolutely. You are definitely getting a lot of love in the comments. Be sure to check those out when we're off the air. You have a lot of people who are definitely supporting everything you're saying. So I also want to tell people before we go that in the state of Indiana, the registration deadline is April 30th, and the primary date is May 8th. So they are coming up.
There is a correction. The registration is April 9th. In the second district, registration is April 9th. In whole Indiana.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I got that on the internet. That's not good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm glad you corrected me.
The primary is made. But it's so critical. We only 5 days left or 4 days to register. So that's what we are doing whole day long for last week and this week and next week to register and canvassing as many voters as possible. So please, all the viewers, hopefully they are not registered, make sure they go and register.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Yatish. You are awesome. We wish you the best of luck. So thank you. And thank you, Erikel, for recommending him and hooking this up. And thank you all for watching. As usual, next week, same as always, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. I have 3 great candidates next week. Once again, Yatish, thank you so much.
Now remember, everybody should remember, it's always Monday and it's always morning.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And
yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much for your audience to allow me to say a few things what I like. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.